So some of what happens today is just Solomon establishing himself. So he kills the guy that just tried to take the throne. He kills Job, David's kind of old war commander, because Job conspired against him. He kills a few other people. And this seems pretty cutthroat and pretty brutal. This is the nature of the time that existed at that point. That's just how power was established. Today it's politicians arguing in Westminster, but back then it was much more brutal. And then you have Solomon beginning to kind of take charge. And the thing that is he's almost most famous for, really, two things, Solomon. The first one is being wise, and the second one is building the temple. And so we're going to read over the next little while about how Solomon built the temple for God and dedicated that to him. But in this passage, you see about how he's offered anything by God. God says to him, what do you want? And I'll give that to you. And God's really pleased with Solomon's request for wisdom. And what's great about Solomon's request is that he doesn't ask for something for himself. He asks for something almost that he might live a life pleasing to God. So, God himself says, you haven't asked for a long life for yourself or wealth for yourself, but wisdom that you might be discerning, that you might govern with justice. And again, it's worth just us thinking about that as we consider what we're asking God for. What was the last thing you asked him for? It's not wrong to ask him for things for ourselves. I think it's fine. In the Lord's Prayer, give us today our daily bread, give us what we need, and that's physical, material. Give me what I need to get through the week, get through the day. But also, it's worth asking God for things, for situations. It says elsewhere, I think it's the book of James, anyone who lacks wisdom, ask God for it, and he will give it to you. If you find yourself in a situation where you just don't know what to do, pray and ask God to show you the way forward. Ask him to give you wisdom that's beyond your years, beyond your experience, beyond your abilities, that you might discern what the way ahead is. Wisdom is not looking at what's the right answer so much as it's kind of looking what's the path to life and what's the path that will lead to hope in this situation. Be like Solomon today. And that doesn't mean be super wise. It means ask for wisdom and God will give it to you.